Hi, second grade. So today is a very exciting day because we are doing our last math lesson, and the lesson that we are doing today is Miss Barron's
Lesson 125, Perpendicular Lines.
Yes, lesson 125, perpendicular lines. Another word for perpendicular lines are intersecting lines, and I will explain what that means. It's a very short lesson, so we are going to start with that. Before we actually go on, I think it was last week, we learned about parallel lines, or it might have been like a week ago. We learned about parallel lines. Parallel lines look like this. If you have two lines that are next to each other like that, that's a parallel line. If you have lines that are like this, those are parallel lines. And you've been given shapes where you have to find the parallel lines. So let's say I had a rectangle and it asks you to circle the parallel lines. You would take your pencil or pen and you would say that these here are parallel lines and these here are parallel lines. And parallel lines are the ones that are right across from each other, equal distance away from each other. So these are parallel lines. But today we are learning about perpendicular lines, or lines that intersect. Intersect means when they cross each other a certain way. So I'm going to show you some examples of perpendicular lines, or line segments that intersect each other. And make sure that you're watching these really carefully because your worksheet will have you circle and select lines that are perpendicular to each other. So first example is this here. Looks like a cross. They intersect each other. These two lines cross. This line here is perpendicular to this line. So they cross. This line here is perpendicular. These two lines are perpendicular to each other. These two lines are perpendicular to each other as well. They also cross. These two line segments cross. Here we have an X. This is definitely two perpendicular lines, or lines that intersect. And last one is this L shape. These two lines here are perpendicular to each other. So it looks like this. Looks like an L shape. You could have it this way too. You could have it like this. This could be looks like a 7. That could be a perpendicular line. But these here are all examples of line segments that intersect, or perpendicular lines. So these are just examples that you'll have to know. And on your homework, worksheet 125, you will have to select which lines are perpendicular to each other. That is the lesson. That is your last lesson of the school year. It's been really great teaching you guys math, and I hope you have enjoyed learning new things in math, like multiplication, drawing shapes, doing fractions. But this is the last lesson. So we're going to just zoom on the board. Okay.